I'll tell you a secret about Dr. Song. This is good, yeah. So he's charming, funny here, but during his summers, he takes over this REU, or like a research experience program, that takes students practically from they lived on the streets, and he guides them all the way up to their PhD in mathematics.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like him even more now.
He's a really, really good guy. Dr. Song. Yep.
Wow.
They practically off the street. They're disadvantaged kids that, you know, they kind of group them together and teach them math and teach them how to do research, and many of his students have their PhDs now. So he gets out of everything. He says, we're always going to talk about integers and working over integer solution. So if one of the first lemmas he has is that x0, y0 is a solution of this equation, then so is a translation, or x0 plus bt plus y0 plus bt for any integer t will also be a solution. And I'm not going to go through that proof because I stupidly promised you I'm going to get you out early. So I'm going to skip that, but I'm going to put the PowerPoint up online so you'll have that. And it's just one of those algebra, stick the formulas in and it works out just fine. The most important formula he gave you is this theorem that if you know one solution, you can get all the solutions. And here I have a fraction. The fraction is there because we know it's not a fraction. B divided by the greatest common divisor of something is going to give you an integer because D divides B. And so there's infinitely many solutions, and they're of this form. The problems that I assigned you for this week are computational. You use this formula. So somebody was already going ahead the second I posted stuff, and they said, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. It's theorem 1. These two formulas are all you need. You find one solution by guess and test, run it on Excel, or you make a graph. You have your calculators, you can make a graph and just look for the integer solutions. Once you find one, you put it into this formula and you get all the rest of them. So I gave you easy homework and an easy quiz. It won't happen all the time. And here you go, an easy quiz next semester, next week. Next week you're going to get only one problem that came from a homework that's already been done. Huh? I don't ask computational questions, but you're best off doing them, right? These 2, 3, and 5 won't take you long.
Can you tell us which homework?
No.
You didn't post the key for the page 19 one, right?
That's this time's?
No, the one before this one.
Yeah, I did. It's inside the lecture. It's inside the notes. Okay. It's inside the lectures. And the solutions for the homework for this week are inside the PowerPoint, so you can grab them all. This one, you guys asked me a lot of questions on this one. I just played around with the numbers and saw right away that there was that it was false. And here, I just played around with the numbers and guessed until I found one thing that violated it, you know. And I just kept trying to play around with it until I got an example where that particular n would make this divisible by 5. So I kind of went backwards and said I wanted my answer to be divisible by 5, and I tried to create a beast that made it divisible by 5, and just guessed and tested until I got this. So once you see it, it looks simple because I had a lot of scratch paper when I was playing around with it. So it wasn't like I just got this and then that's the first try. I played around. There's a lot of scratch paper sitting around, and I played around with it. Just played around with numbers until I got it. So a lot of you are asking me, how do you get that? And I kept telling you, mess around. Let's play around with numbers. Like, then how do you get that? It's just play around, you know? That's all I did, is guessed and tested and tried to invent backwards an example. Question?
Yeah, you can let n equal anything. Like you can just.
Yeah, but the problem is you need an infinite number of n. So you need something that gives you the screwed up answer for everything. So I just, what I did is I set 6 times n minus 1 equal to 5. 5 times s. And I did totally obscene algebra to figure out what kind of multiples I'd have to get in order to make that 5 times of constant. So I went backwards. if that makes sense. So I had a lot of letters in my equation until I landed on something that worked. And I know everybody in here, if you had math classes, you've done that for some problem in your life. You know, nobody sits there and comes up with equations first go around. You kind of guess and test. Guess and test is awesome.